Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to continue on today with episode 4, and we're going to figure out how we can select prizes for our players to win in our game show. But first,
What the fuck is this?
all right, so where we left off yesterday is we had figured out how to show users the questions. And it was a outstanding bit of work for me to write all of those questions and get them figured out. Well, I did that last night, but just to kind of put everything together, here's where we ended up. What I'm planning for is that we can play 5 games, 10 questions, and it'll be split out this way. The first question we're going to ask is going to be some sort of trivial math question, then some sort of other trivial question, then some piece of trivia about JavaScript, and then we're going to ask them 2 easy questions, 3 moderate questions, and 2 hard questions. So here's the breakdown of how many questions I need in each category if all 5 players continue all the way to the end. And so I had to change my index to difficulty mapping. So we're going to be trivial, trivial, trivia, easy, easy, mod, 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 hard, hard. And then all the questions ended up looking kind of like this. I replaced all the IDs with GUIDs to prevent collisions and have difficulty. So that's all good to go and works. If we show like a game, the first question that we would show them would look something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and commit real questions. So now I'm going to switch over, and we need to think about the next phase of this. And in this phase, so the user is going to have 10 questions. And as they go up the questions, so essentially we're going to have like a scoreboard that looks like this vertical stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as they progress up this stack, they'll win better and better prizes. And so what I'm imagining here is that this is like the lock-in line. So in the game, there's a certain level you hit where if you've gotten that, then regardless of if you answer a question wrong or whatever, you still win all the prizes below it. So these questions, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things here. These need to be these are going to be trivial things. These are going to be the kind of stuff that the conference sponsors or whatever would give away anyway. So we're going to have squish toys and t-shirts and water bottles and etc. And then the top 3 are going to be these real big prizes. And those are, I'm working with the other partners at the conference to donate them. So far, I think I have 9 prizes donated, 9 big things, but I might get more. I might throw in some more from my own companies. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to play up to 5 games. So that means if all 5 players answer all 10 questions and everybody wins everything, that means I need 5 things in each of these categories. So the relative difficulty levels of the questions are 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was what it was, right? Zero, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5. So yeah, that's probably what we'll do. So there'll be 7 smaller prizes and then 3 big prizes that somebody could win. And so maybe within here there'll be a couple of different prize tiers that we'll select from. But as the user plays, so if the first user or the first player comes in and they're going to we'll need to produce essentially a prize stack. That's a good name for it, a prize stack. And we'll produce this prize stack by basically saying, okay, give me, I need 7 things from, this, and I need 3 things that we haven't already been claimed, that somebody hasn't already captured. And then as the user progresses through the stack, they will claim this, claim this, claim this. And as it's claimed, they'll have won it or something like that. Yeah, I think that's right. So then when the next player comes along and we need to produce a new prize stack, we'll need to be able to pick it based on what do I have left that has not been claimed. So I'm going to need some sort of data structure that is going to represent that, like, I have a thing. I'm going to have some sort of a prize, and that prize is going to have like a name, and it's going to have like a difficulty maybe for where it'll be assigned to. No, we're not using Python. We're using TypeScript and Preact. So we're going to have a name, we're going to have a difficulty, and we're going to have a like quantity, I guess, because we might have more than one, and claimed. So like this will be a number and a number, because I guess we could have, if we have one thing, then one claimed, and then we don't have it available, but we could have like 5 of something trivial, and then we could have 3 claimed, whatever. So we're going to have like some sort of ability to like pull out a prize stack at the beginning, and then the user will claim prizes as they progress through. And then we'll need to be able to guess it again at the end. And I suppose here, if the user answers something incorrect, they lose the prizes that they had gotten before. So maybe what we need to do is the lock-in line should be like here. And then like these are still trivial prizes, but like people get good stuff. Anyway, I think we'll figure that out kind of as we're putting it together. So I think I have a rough plan of what I need to build. Let's switch over to our code and start putting something together. All right, so when we're at the game start, so they are about to start the game, we would want, at this point, is one of the times when we would show a prize stack. So let's figure out like a very basic way to put that together. Maybe we'll break out my to-do. So I did those 2 while we were gone. I guess what we're going to do is we're going to build a simple prize component today. And we are going to figure out prize stack inventory, something like that is what we're going to do. So here on this page, on this game welcome page, I'm going to need to have my prize stack. So in my game start, here where I am rendering it somewhere, I am going to want to render that. So that's going to look like prize stack, for lack of a better name. And it's going to just be a component. It's our first component, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and name it prize stack.tsx. Yeah, that's fine by me, I think. And I'm going to take that as my starting point. I don't think I'm going to need any of those just yet. Any prize stack. And I'm going to have a render function. And I don't need to do that. And for now, we're just going to say, I am the prize stack. Just to see if we can get this whole thing working together. Got our import prize stack from is that how that, yep, that's how these other ones worked. Okay, that's what we'll do. It's prize stack. All right, I am the prize stack. Sweet. So the prize stack needs to have some data to render. And so who should own that data? The prize stack is really just going to be produced once for the game. I guess it could probably be part of the game object. So who should get it? Should the route be responsible for pulling that all together? I think so, probably. Yeah. So this is what a game looks like for us. I think we probably have another thing here called like prize stack. That should not be called that. A prize stack is going to be like an array of something. I don't know what it is yet. So we'll just say it's an array of objects. But we are saying that it's on the game. Yeah, it's on the game. So here on game start, probably what we just need to provide is we need to provide this game object to it. And we will assume that that has already been populated at the time we get it. So then the prize stack is going to have export type prize stack state that is going to have a game on it. Prize stack props, I guess. Prize stack props. And we'll get that, and that'll be cool. Does this all get... See, it does get props and state. All right. So now our render is going to have this game it could work over. So let's render a list here, an ordered list. And then for each prize in the stack, we'll want to do something. So we're going to say props.game.prizestack.map. So we'll loop over that. Now we're probably going to want to sort it to make sure that it's in the right order, but I don't know what that looks like yet. But for each thing, we're going to want to put an li, and we're going to just say prize.name. Sure. That seems like a good thing to have on it. It doesn't define name yet, so let's do that. Let's say it's got a string. And then just so we have something in here now, let's say this .prize stack is going to be foo and name bar. Just so we have two things in the list and we can see it render. Where do I put you to be out of the way? I think I changed something. I need to probably screw that up. Let's start a new game. My name's Todd. I am the prize stack, but the prize stack did not render anything. Why did the prize stack not render anything? If we go and look at our game object, our game object does have two things in the prize stack, so why did that not render? Let's go to, let's look at prize stack and see what is up with this. So we have props.game.prizestack, and we are going to map. I don't think I returned that. That's probably it. In fact, I think I could probably just get away with this. There we go. Now we're rendering a stack of prizes. But obviously that's garbage. So we need to do more. So when we are initializing a game, we need to figure out what its prize stack is. Now, who creates the game? When we are at game start, when we are at game new, I guess, this is where we are creating a game. So we're building up the game and we're going to the game repository and we're getting it. So that's cool. So right here would be a good place for us to figure that out. So game.prizestack is something. We need somebody to get this information from. Who should that be? Kind of following our pattern, we'll probably want something called the prize controller. And the prize controller will be get prize stack for we don't get a game ID until we save it. That's interesting. I want to be able to like tag the ID so that if we ask for the prize stack for this game again, we'll get the same one. But we haven't given it an ID yet. Maybe we should. Maybe the game repository should just reveal this. Yeah, why not? Why not? Get the next game ID. We'll just make that a public thing. And then here we'll say a new game ID is going to be game repository dot get next game ID. The player name is going to be that. And the prize stack will be the prize controller dot get prize. No, we can't do that yet. Get prize stack for sure. All right, so that changed a bunch of stuff that we need to fix. So this no longer does that thing. And we need to take an ID on the constructor. And then without this piece, anyway, we should be working again. Okay, cool. So now we need to figure out prize controller. So let's create a thing called prize controller. I'm going to copy question controller just as a place to start. And it's going to have a bunch of stuff in it. I don't know what any of that looks like yet. There's probably going to be a thing called a prize. And there's probably going to be a thing called a prize stack. And this is going to be called our prize controller. We don't have any of this stuff yet. Don't need any of that stuff yet. Export const the prize controller. This is going to be our singleton. And this is all stuff that we don't need. So cool. We have a prize controller. And the prize controller needs to implement get prize stack. Get prize stack is going to be a function that takes a game ID, and it's going to return a prize stack. And the game doesn't need to define what this thing is anymore. The game is just going to call this thing a prize stack. And it's not going to define this thing. I guess just an empty array for now. Okay, so this is still working because I have that temporary thing saved in my repo or in my local storage. But I need to figure out the real way to do this. So a prize stack is going to be what? Just to see this all work, let's just return the same thing again. A prize stack is going to be so a prize is going to have a name, which is a string, and a prize stack doesn't really need to be its own thing. It can just be an array of prize. And this becomes that right there. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Let's clear this out, start a new one. Todd's game. All right, we still have our prize stack. We've rearranged it to basically be the same thing that we were doing before. So now we need to get smarter. When we get a prize, we are going to need to get it out of an inventory. And so we're going to have something like const prize inventory that we're going to need to keep track of. It's going to be basically all the stuff that I have. And so, for example, this is going to be what is this thing going to be? This is going to be an array of some kind of object. And these objects will have a name. They should probably have an ID. And I should have a difficulty. And they should have a quantity. And that's really it, because the claimed part, how many have been claimed, is going to be transit information. So I'm going to need to store it in local storage and check it. This is like in total for this instance of me running the game show, how many things do I have? So let's create an ID and a name. And for the sake of argument, let's call this a sloth squish toy. There's going to be some things like sponsor name and sponsor logo that I'm going to need to show at some point here. Because when I'm rendering this, I'm going to have to show like who donated this thing. So the sloth squish toy will be like a difficulty of 0. Maybe it'll be like the first thing, one of the first things we give away. And quantity, let's say we have 5 of them. Cool. Let's populate just a few more just so we can see what's going on. Let's maybe say we also have a JavaScript happens t-shirt. And let's say that that's a difficulty 2. And I have 2 of them. And let's pick one other thing. Let's call this like a water bottle. That's a difficulty 1. So now I have these 3 difficulties. So that's cool. Let's put IDs on these. Online GUID generator. Just so we have some uniqueness in things. Okay, so now we need to figure out what is involved in this. So just like in the question controller had like these things that we would store here in like that were permanent, and then we had a usage record of like when we had claimed stuff. So I think we're going to have a similar kind of concept of like a usage record of like a prize claim record. And a prize claim record is probably going to have a game it was climbed on, a game ID it was climbed on, a prize ID that was claimed, I don't know if I'd have a quantity or if this would always only ever be 1, because somebody wouldn't take more than one thing. Yeah, so that's probably all this is. So in order to get a prize stack, what I need to do is I need to, if we already have a stack for this game, return that. Else, build a new stack from the prize, from the available and prize claim records. Well, we're obviously not going to have this part done yet, so let's focus on the else. This is like super similar to what we did in the question controller. In the question controller, we're getting a question. And if we've already asked for a question for this game and this question index, we return the same one. Otherwise, we go and look for a question that hasn't been used. So let's just kind of take this same flow and see if we can get anywhere with it. So we are going to need these. So like let prize claim records equals this dot get prize claim records. And let's go get that. Here's how we were, getting and setting things from local storage, which I think we can probably do pretty much the same thing. All right, so now we have a way of serializing this thing 2 and 4. All right, so now we can get any of the prize claim records, which at the beginning is going to be empty. And we will look to see if any of the prize claim records. Oh, no, that's not what we're doing here. This is more complicated than that, because like, okay, a prize stack, an array of prizes. I guess what a prize could be is this. I think I need to go back to my picture. Let me think about this for a moment. Okay. So I have a prize stack. And we have a inventory of prizes. Inventory. When we are assembling a prize stack, we need to basically say, I need, we'll just have it match like the difficulty levels of questions. Or no, we'll have it match a question index maybe. So we have like, we have a game, and the game has index 0 through 9 that we need to fill with prize categories. And I guess this needs to be smart, because like the value, we wouldn't want like an expensive prize coming in at the beginning, and we would want to have it like progressively get harder. So it's not a difficulty, it's just an index. It's like, this is a prize valid for index 0, or this is a prize valid for index 1. So the inventories has to keep a question index value for what's appropriate. And so it's going to go in and it's going to say, hey, I need, give me something at random that you have left for game 1, or for index 0. And then give me something that you have left at random at index 1, or whatever. And then from that, we will have this thing of like, here's all of these things that we have. They have now been claimed, I guess. And that is the prize stack that this person won. So then when the next game comes along, we have game 2 comes along. This was game 1. We have another 0 through 9 things that needs to be claimed. And we're going to ask the same index or the same inventory for these things. And we need to not return something that has been claimed already. So this inventory has to merge in claims. So like from local storage, when we're loading this thing up, we need to smash on like something. Like we need to layer onto this thing a kind of property, because it's not going to be in the raw inventory. It's going to say, here's how many we've already like given away. And then when a game finishes, so if game 0 or game 1 finishes and the user only got through the bottom 3 things of their stack, we need to like return the claims so that another game could win the same thing. I feel like I'm overthinking this. I'm not really going to have multiple games going at a time. So I might be over-engineering this thing. I only really need, I still need this claimed concept, but claimed is like 1. So when somebody wins something, then it gets claimed. Prize X got claimed in game 3, whatever. And then for the next game that is created, no, I don't. I think I have to do that with how everything else is working. I already have the concept of multiple concurrent games running, and that seems like it's going to just be asking for a problem to happen by like not holding them. I do need the ability to delete a game and return its stack, like beyond just like the full wipe that I have right now. So I'm gonna put that in my to-do actually. Clear one game, return its prizes. And I need a way of like show prizes for a game, prizes won for a game, admin screen so that I can actually give somebody what they won after the show. Okay, let me talk through this again because I don't think I fully understand. All right, I have an inventory. The inventory needs to have a question index value in addition to all of the other things on the inventory. Like, you know, the thing and its quantity and whatever. There is a layer that needs to get pushed on top of this inventory from my local storage. And this is going to contain how many things are claimed and how many things are won. So when it's claimed, it's just like it's in somebody's prize stack. It's in an active game's prize stack. I don't need to worry about who won something yet because it can just stay in the claimed state until I release it. So this is going to just have a claimed number. So then here's where my prize controller is sitting. It loaded this thing, it smashes it on top of inventory, and it can figure out what it needs to do to produce a prize stack. The prize stack is attached to, game 1, asks the controller, it says, hey, I'm game 1, and it says I need prizes for 0 through 9. This thing goes, it layers on that thing and returns a prize stack. It will continue to return the exact same prize stack so long as game 1 is the thing that asks for it. If game 2 comes to ask for it, for 0 through 9 things, it's going to produce a totally different one, taking into account anything that is claimed before him, and return that out. And obviously I'm going to need to handle some sort of like error where I don't have enough prizes left to play. All right, I think I have a better understanding of this thing now. Okay, so back into our prize controller. The prize inventory record, this still seems right. I have an ID, I have a name, I don't have a difficulty, I have a question index that this thing is applicable for, and I have a quantity of here's how many things that I have. This thing, I think I want to give it a type. So I'm going to call this a type an inventory prize. And I'm going to define it like this. Yeah. So this is going to be an array of inventory prizes, is what I have in my database. So these are question index. That's good for 0, it's for 1, and it's for 2. And that's cool. So now I'm also going to have this concept of a claimed prize. No, I want to have this like active inventory prize, or claim, essentially I want this thing that extends an inventory prize how do I do that? TypeScript extend type. Interface. Okay, that's fine. This can be an interface. Interface. All right, and then I'm going to have a thing that extends this. Interface, I don't know, extends inventory prize, and it's going to add in a claimed quantity. And this is something that I'm going to build dynamically. I'm going to like look at these other records and I'm going to figure out what this is. So I guess what this is I guess I'm going to call this claimed inventory prize. I don't love these words, but like, fine. So I think this thing I'm going to move all these types to the top of the file. This is going to be an interface. An interface of prize claim. is going to have a game ID string. So what game claimed this? And it's going to have a prize ID for what prize was claimed. And I don't think we'll double it up. So this is going to implicitly say that there is one claim. This one thing of whatever was produced. So now we need a function that like does the work and smashes all of this stuff together. Inventory smasher. Let's comment all this junk out. Private get claimed inventory. Sure. So we're going to like load everything up and get our claimed inventory. And this should be like a thing that maybe I only produce once. Because I will have a variable that I just kind of like load it into. Claimed prize inventory. Let's call it prize inventory. Is a array of whatever. Okay, so then if we have a claimed prize inventory, then I want to just return this dot claimed prize inventory. We've already like built this thing out. Otherwise, what do we need to do? We need to get these. So let prize claims equal this dot get prize claims. We're gonna just get a little shorter here. Okay. So we're going to get all those prize claims. And then we're going to essentially do this dot. I think this is not actually that hard of a statement once we have all the things we need. We need to grab the raw prize inventory here, the prize inventory, and we're going to map the prize inventory onto this new object. And we are going to basically return we basically want to return everything that is in P and then add claimed quantity to it. And that makes TypeScript happy. But now we need to figure out like how many of these claims exist. And I think we can do that here with prize claims, because I think this is just about taking prize claims dot what? We need to basically reduce it down to a number, you know, I think it'd be easier to understand if we do a find and then do a length. So we're going to find all the prize claims where the claim dot prize ID is p.id dot length. Oh no, that is going to, we need to filter dot length plus 1. So we're going to loop over all of the prizes in inventory. And we're going to basically take, here's the thing I need about it, and then I'm going to add in the quantity from prize claimed. And then I can return this dot claimed prize inventory. This is basically just what I need to do when we're first like loading up. So on first time we call this thing, it builds it. Cool. This is going to need to change when we're writing it, but let's see if we can move forward. So when we get a prize stack, we can use this claimed prize inventory. For now, let's just return a thing. So we have our let So we're going to build this thing out. Now we have our claimed prize inventory. And we're going to need a let let prize stack equals a new list. Ultimately, we are going to be returning prize stack. So I guess we kind of want I guess I just want a for loop. For I equals 0, well, I is less than or equal to is less than 10, I plus plus. So we're going to loop 10 times from 0 to 9. And at that point, we will take prize stack at the index I. We need to get a prize. So from claimed prize inventory dot find me a prize, or prize dot question index equals I. All right, so we have a different type here. We don't want to return everything, I don't think, about this. We only want to return a handful of things. We want to return ID and name and probably the question index, and then at some point these things about it. We don't want to return a quantity. That doesn't make any sense. So this is kind of fun. All right, we'll just chain these things together. And we'll just cast it. That should work, I think. All right, so we don't need to do this anymore. This should work in like a super naive. We're not claiming anything. We're just going to return some stuff. But that maybe should work. So if we go back to the beginning and we create a new game. Oop, we blew up. Prize stack. Game. Props? No. Ooh, yeah, look, we got 10 things. We got a bunch of nulls. Obviously, we did not handle those cases. We need things all the way up that chain. So this is going to be for 2 and for 3 and for 4 and for 5 and for 6 and for 7 and for 8 and for 9. And let's just call these things what they are for now, because I'm going to have to figure all this stuff out as real sponsor prizes come in. Oop. And I should probably put some better GUIDs on here. Super exciting. I could probably do this with code, but like it's faster just copy and paste it for this many records. All right, so now we have some inventory. We probably need to go back to the beginning because we generated it once and saved it. We're probably stuck in a breakpoint somewhere. Let's start a game for A. And there we go. We have a prize stack. It's in opposite order. We need to render it in inverse, but that's okay. We're getting a thing. All right, so now the question is, we still don't have any concept of like reserving it. Now that game 2 has a prize stack, how do I make sure that somebody else doesn't get it? So if I, for example, say, hey, this squish toy, I only have one squish toy. But I have another thing. I have a sloth keychain. I have a sloth keychain that I also have one. So if I start a game and this gets claimed, then the next game I start should get this one because it should have already like got its thing. And I know that that's not happening right now. So let's figure that out. Let's just make sure that our stuff all got erased. Here in local storage, we have no keys. Cool. So now here, when we are, essentially this is when we're claiming a prize, is we're grabbing something out of here. We built a prize stack. We should set up new claim records so that we know how to do it. Which should be easy enough. We just create these prize claim records for everything. Except we also need to maybe get dumber here. Here where we were building this thing, we built it once. We built it assuming that nothing changed. When now we're going to start changing things. So this might not be able to like cache its result ever. It might just have to build it every time, which is not the most performant thing, but it doesn't need to be for this. So here we're looping over it. And as we're looping over it, we could really just create a prize claim record, like this dot claim prize, and we claim game ID is claiming prize stack I dot ID. And that could be all there is to it. If let prize equal, let's pull this apart a little bit. So we're going to take this prize out, and if there's no prize, if nothing came out, we need to alert to do no prizes found. We need to figure out a better thing to do with that later. We're going to take that prize and we're going to stick it right there. And there we go. Now we're doing this loop. Now we just need to implement claim prize. I'm going to throw this stuff away. I don't think I need it anymore. We can get rid of this and get rid of that because we're going to just build this thing every time. And this is just going to return that mapping. So we're going to get those prize claims out, and now we're going to say prize claims dot. We're just going to push a new thing on here, and it's going to have a game ID, and it's going to have a prize ID. And that's what we just need to save. And now we are going to this dot save prize claims. Okay, so that should work if we only ever load things once, because essentially this is every time we get it, we're building this thing up again. But let's just see it work. So we're going to start a new game. There we go, is X. There we go. Here is this list. If we take a look at our thing here, we should see some prize claims. Here's game ID 0 claimed all these prizes. They are now reserved. But if I wasn't smart enough about how this was built. So if I refresh this, oh, it worked because because I saved the whole thing in the game. Game 0 contains its prize stack. So that's cool. I actually don't need to handle this case. What I do need to handle is that if we go here and start a new game for Y, we got a sloth squish toy, and game 0 got a sloth squish toy. Why did they both got a sloth squish toy? Because we didn't handle inventory. Cool, yes. Here where we're getting our prize, we're just seeing if it matches. We're not looking at inventory at all. Where should we do that? Maybe here where we're... No. Let's just add to this little statement here. If the question matches and p dot claimed quantity is less than p dot quantity, we need to go back to the beginning and reset this. Let's start a new game for X. No prizes found. Ooh, that's not good. Claimed quantity 1. Oh, I don't think I needed to add 1. Yep. I screwed that up. Let's try this again. One little buggy. X. Let's just make sure it goes. All right. Game 0 got the sloth squish toy and then a bunch of other stuff. So if we go and start a new game and we start a game for Y, got the keychain. And now if we go and start a new game, there is nothing at position 0. And so we should blow up. No prizes found. Well, that's pretty fantastic, actually. All right, let's go back to the to-do. Do we get it all? We have a prize component. So there we're rendering this list of things, and we are figuring out the inventory. I think we did both of those things. Let's maybe reverse this order, just so we are displaying things in the correct order that somebody would earn them in. And then I would say we're done here. So let's say Mdn Array Reverse. What's the best way to do that? Oh, we just call reverse. Sweet. Here in our prize stack, where we're mapping it, we should just call reverse. And that should be it. Bam! Look at that. That's the order that people will win things, and they will move up their prize stack. Now, I think there's going to be some more stuff here. We're going to need to make sure that we're keeping track of how they're progressing through. I think that's going to be next. We'll do track question progress through the prizes. But I think we are done with these two. A project for me is get the real prizes. Let's check this in. I think we got a bunch of stuff done. All right. We had to rearrange our game a little bit. The game got the ID sent to it rather than specifying it itself. And we now have this prize stack object, which is cool. The game controller just needed some capitalization. Game repository doesn't do that anymore. We reveal the ID system. Prize controller is all new. We got a bunch of stuff in there. The prize stack component that renders this little guy. I made it a component rather than building it in because we're going to show this thing in a bunch of different places, I think. Game start needs to, we put that on this route. Here's where we're creating the game originally. We have to create the prize stack. Question, that was just capitalization. And capitalization. Sweet. Show the prize stack. Wow, that came together pretty quick. I thought that was going to be a lot harder. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute bio break here, go on pause, and then I think we're going to come back and take a run at this, see how far we can get on tracking these questions, or the progress through the questions. All right. Hey there. So I think I screwed up, and I think I was showing you my iPad for most of that last section. My apologies. Not going to redo it though. So we're just going to move forward. We made a lot of progress. We have a list. Hey there. Ooh. We have a list of things showing up as our questions or as our prizes. And now I want to move and see if I can mark and track what prizes people have won as they progress through the game. So I'm going to make sure I'm showing my coding. And I think that is true now. And we can go. So we are going to track the progress through the game. So as we start this the next question here, it'll be, hey, show us, we're about to ask the next question. At this point, we should show the prize stack on this screen here. And then on the question page, we should also show the prize stack with indicators of like where they are. So let's do that next. That should be fairly easy to do since we made it a component. So it's already on game start. So now we just need to put it on question start. And we don't have this thing as the game yet. Okay, so now if we go back to this page, I am the prize stack. Here's the prize stack of things. Cool. Now when we are showing them the question, I probably want to put it there too. I think I probably want to wrap this thing in something at this point rather than just showing the form. Hey, there we go. I am the prize stack. Okay, so now we are showing it. Let's show them an indicator of where they are right now. So when we're on this page, on question 0, like this index should be like pointed to. We should have like, this is the thing that we are at right now. So here in the prize stack, we need to decide whether or not to show that. So we have the game. In the game, we do not know their progress yet. Oh no, we do know their progress. We know questions asked. Let's clear this and start a fresh one. So at this point, I am the start. We are at the start of the thing. There is no questions asked. If we go to the next question, we are now at question 0. Question asked is still empty. So this doesn't count as though we have asked this question yet. But as soon as we go to this page, it still isn't populated. If I answer it, okay. So this only shows once the user has answered the question. I don't know that that's what I want. I think I want to like claim the question right at the beginning so that I kind of know the progress. So where is that being done? In question result, where does questions asked get used? When we submit an answer, we are adding it to it. Okay, so I want to do this thing sooner. I think I want to do this rather than on questions show. I want to do it on questions start. So here where I'm setting this up, I'm going to get the game and I'm going to get the question. So we're going to get the game and the question. And now the game, we're just going to go ahead and claim that we are asking this question. Object is possibly null. If there's no game or there's no question, then alert to do bad path. Okay, so if once we're here, once we're showing the question, we're going to go ahead and push this in right here. We're going to say question ID and props.questionIndex. Ugh, why is all of this stuff? Okay. Ugh. Question index, question.id. The game should not be null at this point. And we don't know if it is correct. We have not even asked it yet. So now we need to specify that, like, hey, we don't know that. It's Boolean or null. Okay. Let's just see if this still runs. Okay, cool. So now if we clear this out and we start a new game for X, at this point, if we look at the game, there's no questions asked. We start, now there are, what? Nope. Oh, we didn't save it. That's why. We should, at this point, game repository dot save game. But we don't want to do that every time we load this, because otherwise we're just going to keep pushing the same thing on here again. So we need to check questions asked dot if some of them contain q dot this question index, if they don't contain this question index, then let's update that. Otherwise, let's not. Let's make sure that that all still works. Clear, start, X, game. There's nothing on game 0. Start the question. We now have question index will be this question. We don't know if it's correct yet. And show me the question. And there we go. And now when it is correct, back where we had this thing originally, now rather than pushing this on here, we just need to update it. So we need to say this dot state dot game dot question ask dot find. Let's find the question where question dot question index is this dot props dot question index. And what is that called? That is called a question asked. This should just be a No, it should be that. Okay, so now when we show this, we're going to pick the right answer and say final answer. And now this is updated true. Cool. Let's go on to, let's do this again. Start a new game for Y. Start the next question. Show me the question. Let's do the wrong answer. And we will see in game 1, question asked, false. Sweet. Okay, so we are now tracking that. But back to what I wanted to do here is that when we start a new game, oh, I'm out of prizes. When I start a new game, I will need to highlight that, like, at this question level, here is the prize that you are at. So now I kind of know that based on the game that is being played. So here I am at question start, and I'm rendering this thing. I could also specify this by saying, here's the question I'm about to show. Or here's the question index we're at. I kind of like that. Okay, so now the prize stack props also take a question index of number. So now we can highlight it. So we have the number, but we've reversed this. What is on a prize? Do I have the question index right on the prize? Sweet. So we can just say here, prize dot question index is the same thing as props dot question index, then current, else nothing. Boom! Look at that. Show me the question. We still know it's current. Answer the question. Correct. Whatever. So now what I don't have is a way to go from like this correct answer to the next question. So let's maybe build that out quick. So if result.is correct, then actions yeah, I don't care about that. Let's not worry about this just yet. Okay, so that's super naive, but fine. So now we're at the next one. Here is, shit. This is reversing it every time. That's not good. Let's reverse it at the end, maybe. I think we gotta start over though. Probably fucked it up. For correct, next. Water bottle, show me the question. True and false is false. Final answer, correct. Next question. Yes, we are moving up the ladder. That seems great. I think that does it. So track the question, progress through the prizes. We are going we are going up. I think that's pretty good, actually. And with that, it's 4 o'clock. So I'd say we call it for the day. I have some to-dos to get some real prizes. And then I think tomorrow we could start styling it and working through edge cases. Yeah. All right, next time we're styling. Let's commit this quick. All right, so game, we can now have that thing. We're going to reverse at the end. Made that a little easier with inline stuff. Prize stack is on the start. Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it. We'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow, probably, to start styling this sucker. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you.